Welcome back. Well, our studio guests this morning were going to be two members of the world's most successful ever rock band, and they still will be, but at the moment there's only one of them here because the other one's caught in traffic. Anyway, after 18 years together, it seems there's no part of the world where they haven't had a hit.
Yes, today they released their 32nd single in the United Kingdom, a track taken from their forthcoming album, The Miracle, called I Want It All. Let's say hello to Brian May from Queen.
Hello,
Brian. We understand that Roger's caught in traffic, so...
Yes, I think he's struggling through what I just struggled through. But we may see him in a minute.
It's pretty heavy out there, isn't it?
So.
The road should clear from you. Do you still... We mentioned that, well, it's a pretty incredible record, really. 32nd single. Do you still get the same sense of excitement, Brian?
I get more excitement about this than anything for a while, because it has been quite a while since we released anything. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about just having something out there again. I think it's 3 years since we actually had a record out there, and we've been very, very busy. But it's nice to have something out there and happening. You know.
When Queen started all those years back, you were fairly... you planned very carefully the intervals between which you produced your records. But has it become a bit more haphazard? You sort of just for 3 years do nothing? Or?
Not really haphazard, but we changed the whole philosophy after about 15 years or whatever it was. It had been a kind of treadmill, and which we trapped ourselves in. So we would tour and make a record, tour and make another record, and there was never any room to breathe. So we actually decided 3 years ago that we would take a little time off and put the record out when we were ready, and not just get back on the treadmill immediately, but choose our time, you know.
You would think, wouldn't you, when we use that corny old cliché supergroup, you sort of, I guess the public, including ourselves, have the image of, you know, really good times, most of the time, hard work agreed. But you can get stale, can you? You can get stagnant and bored even.
No, I don't think you get bored, but, you know, life goes by and there are other areas that you have to explore. But I actually want to be a musician, but there are a lot of areas within that.
Yes. Well, also, other areas, there is life outside music. I mean, you've just been to America and back, haven't you, with your
I took my
family?
kiddies for a couple of weeks to America, yes. There wasn't much work involved, except in looking after them.
Tramping around Disneyland, eh?
Yeah, it's a hard life, isn't it?
You're working on a solo project as well, then? There is life outside Queen for you, at
Yes,
least.
there's a lot. Yes, I am working on a solo project, which has been around for a while, but I shelved it when we were making the Queen album, because that sort of comes before everything.
Is it different sort of music?
It's a bit different, yeah, because there are a few things which haven't fitted into the framework of Queen over the years, so I can let them out of my system in a different way. Yeah, I'm working hard on that, and I got very involved in the British bone marrow donor appeal as well, which I've been dashing around the country for recently, which has been quite an inspiration to me, really, to see the people that work in that.
In what way? Do you explain why it's an inspiration? Shouldn't need explaining, mind you, should it?
Well, just to see the enthusiasm that they have, and in particular, you know, this lady, Mrs. Morse, who died recently, and who just devoted the rest of her life to building up a register. And Mr. Taylor is here, so I won't go rabbiting on anymore. Hello, Mr. Taylor.
Roger.
We were worried about you. We were worried about you, Roger. How's the traffic?
Oh, it's absolutely dreadful. It gets worse and worse. I'd forgotten how bad it was. I've been away with it.
He's very brown.
Well, I'm fairly brown.
Look at that. Dare you.
You've just been Australian outbacking.
Yes, I went to the Barrier Reef and a couple of places I've always meant to go to, and we had a spare few weeks, so off I went.
So there you are, we were talking about hard work, and you two just talked about California and the Barrier Reef.
Good morning, by the way.
Good morning to you. Belated good morning to you. When you get to a place like the Barrier Reef, do you find it just... One of the best things is you're away from most people, because presumably your life's crowded and noisy. It's
so enormous, and it just goes on forever, and it really is the end of nowhere, you know. That and Patagonia, I think,
You've been there too?
No, not recently.
I think the Barrier Reef, somebody told me the Barrier Reef is, I mean, it's a living thing, and it's as big as Scotland, Wales and England all put together.
Yeah, I think it's 1,200 miles long.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Somebody also told me we're managing to wreck that too, the human race.
I think there's a particular kind of starfish which is actually doing more damage than the human race.
Oh, the starfish?
Yeah, we're sort of looking after it, I think, yeah.
Oh, needs a harpoon. Have you seen, presumably you've seen your video, have you? You've seen it again and again, I expect, of your new one.
I've hardly seen it.
Have you not?
I was on it, as you know, then I went away, and I haven't really seen it much.
Well, we've got a real treat for you today, then, because I think it is about time that we heard Queen's 32nd UK single. Here they are performing on stage, I Want It All. I want it all. Brilliant.
We just cut you off just as you were getting to
going, yeah.
top gear there. Sorry about that.
Warming up.
Where did you make that video? It looked like a pretty sort of big, spacious sort of...
Big studio in Elstree. Yes.
It was a sort of warehouse type place.
Yeah.
When you make a video, do you just play the whole song as though you're playing it live, or all those other shots? You've got lots of cameras.
Well, with that one, yes, we really wanted it to make it look fairly informal, as if it was we were just playing in a warehouse. It didn't really turn quite out that way. But yeah, we just played it all the way through, then we just did a few little insert bits.
Good.
For close-ups on vocals and things.
I want it all, I want it all, I want it all, I want it now. Is that the anthem for 1989 and Queen?
Must be, yeah. We can hope.
We're
We're still trying to get it.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say that you've done pretty well. You've got pretty much all of it already, but stay with us. We'll have lots more time for chat later.
Thanks.
Right now it's time for the weather, Mike.
That's right.
Hello again. Well, we're joined again on the sofa by Brian May and Roger Taylor from Queen. So we've got you both here looking much more relaxed now, Roger. You've had time to settle down.
I just rushed in from the London traffic before, so...
Great. Well, we're talking about your new single, your 32nd single as the group Queen.
You keep saying this, it makes it sound very old. We're really young.
So 18 years you've been together, but 3 years since your last single.
That's right, yes.
So it's good news to hear that you've got another one coming. We've had lots of phone calls since we first saw you earlier on this morning saying, are they going to tour?
We very much hope so. There's a few things to sort out before we do, but we very much hope to be out there again, yeah.
Will we see that this year,
Absolutely,
you think, or next year?
It's possible. It's hard to say at the moment. It depends on how the record goes. And like, we didn't really want to jump in straight away and just get, back in there.
Yeah.
It has to be right.
It took a year to make the album, and it's quite a thing to gear up again. And I think now we just sort of see how it goes and hopefully tour.
The album being The Miracle.
That's right.
Which is released, I think, end of this month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, let's have a quick look at that single, anyway, which is released now. Can we go out and...
Today.
Today,
it's
right.
today,
Well, that's good timing then, isn't it? The single, I Want It All. Let's take a look. I Want It All by Queen. How important is the video to selling the single?
It's still quite important, but I think radio is the most important and always will be, because people have to hear it. And videos have got very cliched over the years. We're not actually... We don't think it's the best thing we've ever seen, do we?
No, it's not.
But you kind of have to do a video,
Well, you do, don't you? And Roger, you were saying, as we were watching that it costs more to make the video than it does to make the song. And yet
yes, probably by a factor of 10, I think.
Yes, and it's and yet there is this pressure. You have to have a video, don't you?
You do, really, yeah, to come on shows like this.
Well, we'd have had you on video or not. I mean, some of your videos as well. I mean, that one, as we're just watching you play it, but some of your videos have really been, maybe not outrageous, but quite over the top. I mean, the one where you're all dressed up as
women.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great fun actually to make that one. But I don't know, the videos I think everybody's seen so many videos now, and I'm just tired. Every concept's been used, and I don't know. And I think we made one of the first videos, and we thought we'd said quite a lot with that, and of course that looks absolutely archaic now.
Well, you said an awful lot with Bohemian Rhapsody, because it was a 6-minute song, wasn't it?
Now, there's a whole story to tell there. Sometimes the video can help tell a story, but sometimes I think the video can narrow the whole image of it down. It's nice for people to weave their own patterns in their own minds about a song, I think.
Yes, it's like, I can't remember exactly, but when a child quoted once that they thought the pictures in their mind were better than the ones they can see on television.
I'm sure.
I mean, the imagination actually can create all sorts of images.
Exactly,
Absolutely, hit the nail on the head. I think that's what music's all about, really. It's an oral thing, isn't it?
Freddie seems to enjoy himself on the videos, though, on any sort of any stage, really, doesn't he? What's he doing at the moment?
He's great. Well, he's singing better than ever, as you'll hear on the album. And he's singing higher and harder and more emotionally, I think, than ever.
Yeah. No matter how much he moans and groans, as soon as he gets a microphone, it's just the magic comes out.
He's away.
He really is one of those types when the old fridge light comes on, it starts to perform, doesn't he?
That's right. Yeah, he's just,
Roger, you're performing solo and with another group as well, aren't you? You're the Cross.
I am, actually. Well, I have been, and I will be again. Obviously, this has taken a long time, the Queen album. You have to throw yourself into whatever's happening at the time, 100%. But the Cross is still very much a living entity.
But very much one that you're having to sort of push up. I mean, it's that they're on the way up as opposed to there. It must be quite odd in a way for you to be, part of your successful Queen and also having to really push a lesser-known band.
very true, but I mean, I'm just one of them, and it's in some ways it's quite a sort of humbling experience, and I've come to terms with it now, and I'm willing to go through all the growing pains of that band, you know, if I get enough time with Queen. So it's really quite interesting, and I'm quite prepared to push it through, to work at it.
If you've got time to do both.
Yeah.
I must say, I do hope we see you on the road before too long.
Thank you.
It's been too long already.
Thank you.
As Mike was saying when we were listening to you, you're the one band where all you need to hear is like a few seconds and we know immediately that's Queen.
That's nice to know.
Very distinctive sound. Yeah.
Great.
Very
Well, we hope to be playing
good
for everybody.
We've got talking of distinctive sound, we've got a very distinctive apparition sitting on your...
Well, good morning.
Right,
I must
good morning
say,
to you, Giles.
when I saw that we had Brian May and Roger Taylor coming in this morning, I thought a distinguished cricketer, a distinguished tennis player, this is going to be my morning. Then it turns out that I get here and it's royalty. We are thrilled, honoured, and indeed very distinctive.
Brian May, by the way, it's Peter May, was a cricketer.
Maybe in your world, it was. Maybe in your world, I'm thinking of another one.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, his younger brother. Was he a hero of yours?
Oh, hero, of course, yeah. Played for Middlesex.
Oh, very
Played for
good.
Surrey, Peter May.
Yeah, he's thinking of Brian May, played for Middlesex. Anyway, good morning, Britain.
Did awfully well.
It's time now for...
I should shut up, Brian.
That's all right. You're going to now hear the letters. Viewers have sent in lots of letters.
I've blown it now.
No, you haven't. Not at all. It's nice. This is what shows it's natural and it's live. And for many of us, it's in colour. It's a good
Day
record.
or two. Have you fared badly, newspaper-wise?
A pain in the neck to us very often, yes.
Really?
But that's life, I guess.
Because there have been, sort of in the past, over the 18 years that you've stayed together, which surely shows that you get on well together, if you can stay together as a band 18 years, that there are sort of arguments and splits between the four of you.
There are always arguments.
There's a lot of arguments, most of them healthy in the end, yeah.
Yeah.
In that they're about your music, you mean?
Yeah, we actually get on very well at the moment, I think.
Yeah, it's not too
Yeah,
bad.
no, we get on better. There were periods when it was difficult, you know, it's like any long relationship, you get times when it's very tense. But we got through them, and I think we've all been a great help to each other recently. I think we've all found life quite difficult in a way, because being a pop star isn't all glamour, you know.
No,
Not all
sure
rock
it
and
isn't.
roll.
No, you know, and there's a lot of times when things get very hard, and I think we've been very helpful to each other.
And your
recently.
latest single you all wrote together as well, I believe.
That's right. In fact, the whole album we wrote together. It was a conscious decision right at the beginning. We said, whatever happens in this studio, it's going to be the four of us that put everything together.
Good.
And that's
An
the way it
example of
is.
togetherness.
So democracy at work.
Yeah, it helps.
Well, it's lovely to talk to you today, I must
Thank
say. Best of luck with the single, and do tour. Best of luck with the album that's coming out later on this year, and, well, hopefully we'll see you again before too long.
Yeah.
Thanks very
Thanks
much.
for coming in. Thanks.
And if those newspapers print your tour dates, you'll forgive them all, won't you?
Yeah, yeah, fine.
We must defend them some.